Hi, my name is Mitch Metzger. I'm the School of Evangelism leader in Metro Manila, and back in 2013 we had a small batch of students and staff, and we were doing evangelism in Manila. When on November 8, 2013, massive Typhoon Yolanda smashed through Tacloban across the center of the Philippines. Our team had about 21 days remaining of our official outreach before graduation, and we decided let's go to Tacloban. After watching the TV scenes of the devastation and the smashing, we decided to get some tickets, some bus tickets, and come to Tacloban. Now it was very strange because everybody was leaving the city and we wanted to come, and we couldn't get our tickets initially. It took us 48 hours to get our tickets. But the typhoon was so massive, over 300 kilometers per hour, with just massive destruction. The city was flattened out, especially the airport area, crossing over into the place near a place called Ritz Tower. This is our group in the beginning. We packed everything into backpacks. We had about 1,000 pesos worth of groceries each because there was no corrente, no electricity, no water, and no grocery stores, no ice, no food really. So we had to bring everything that we thought we would need for at least 7 to 10 days in a backpack with no cooking, so no rice, that meant. We came to the city, finally arrived, and we moved into Ritz Tower, shown here. It was owned, I believe, by the vice mayor's wife, and so the second floor was available, and it was just a big mess. And they said, "Is this okay?" And we said, "Yeah, we'll take it." So of course the payment, there was no payment. We just cleaned everything up and we started it as an operating location. And really, literally within days, other members, helpers, workers, volunteers started arriving from all around the world. We had over 900 volunteers arrive over a 1-year period, as shown in this photo, from all over the world really. Every time the teams would come or volunteers would come, they'd bring things with them for donation or for giveaways. There was over 25 evacuation centers at that time where people were being put while their houses were destroyed, obviously. And so one of the very first things we started doing after arriving was retrieving bodies. There was massive casualties, between 6,000 to 10,000 casualties region-wide, but in our immediate area, we were able to recover 54 casualties in 9 days. Literally finding people. It was already day number 6, 7, 8, 9, etc. And then we would bring them to the street, as you've seen in the photo here. And then they would be picked up and brought to mass cemeteries, etc. around the city. Well, during that time, there was still a brownout, no electricity. We thought, oh, we need, a generator. And the generator finally arrived. It was like Christmas for us. And with the generator came a lot of extension cords in which we wanted to begin to charge people's phones and people's lights in these different evacuation centers. So the first evacuation center that we chose was Rizal School, right across from Ritz Tower. And we set up our generator with about 75 charging points. Yeah. And people by the hundreds would charge their phones and charge their lights, even laptops. And they were beginning to send messages back home, etc., etc. So as they were charging their phones, they were a captive audience, so we began to show Christian movies or Christian videos. So we turned it into an evangelistic events in the evening. As they charged their phones, we showed these videos, and then we preached to everybody towards the end of the evening. And so as teams continued to come daily and weekly, some staying for a few days, some staying for weeks and even longer, they would always bring like sardines or other materials with them, building supplies, etc. I remember one time we bought 804 mosquito nets because people were starting to have trouble with mosquitoes. This was already on like month number 3 now. This is one of our team members distributing items in the evacuation center. I remember somebody gave us like 300,000 pesos, and we used all of it just to buy materials such as hammers and saws, and we began to write on the hammers, follow Jesus, etc. And then we designed our own sticker, and we began to put it on the tape measures on the saws. And so that was our evangelistic activity. And then our regional director named Bibing Gorapo came to visit us sometime after the beginning there, and someone took the initiative to make our first sign. This was our first sign Welcome to Tacloban, hand painted on Kahoy wood, plywood, and put in front of our paternal house near what's the name of it, Alejandro Hotel, right? Just a few meters from that hotel, we found this place in which we rented for 1 year, 12 months actually. And so we transferred out of Ritz Tower into this particular apartment, in which we stayed for a year, and volunteers began to continue operating out of there. More volunteers and more teams arrived that began building houses. Over 32 small houses were made out of simple plywood and 2x2s, primarily led by a former staff named Ark and a former engineer. And a friend of ours lent us this van for a few months. So we began house building, half a house, roof only, all of the house. We averaged about 20,000 pesos, that's about $400 per unit or per house, and we did over 30 of them. And so during that time, evangelism continued, outreaches continued, from school bag distribution to toys to pencils and pens and erasers, items for school supplies. Children were being sponsored through their schools. We even had some leftover money for a little dental program. I believe we pulled or filled over 100 fillings and or pullings. I remember one guy had 21 cavities, unbelievable. And so as different teams and volunteers ran around the city looking for maybe a permanent resident to take us out of Paternal Street in 2014, somebody came across this house in Imelda Village. It was available by a former American who had built it, an engineer himself by trade, and had very American style construction, and he was selling it at a desperation price of 4.5 million pesos. I think that was like $105,000, 105,000. And so it was great, and we wanted it. And he wanted to move to Dumaguete for better medical treatment because he had medical problems, and he wanted to unload this house, and we bought it. And he gave us 1 year to pay for it, and that's when the fundraising program started. And within 1 year, we had to come up with over $105,000 or 4.5 million pesos. And we did it. Over 150 people gave from all around the world, all around the country. I remember even some kids gathered their piggy banks together in Cebu City, dumped out all of their coins, and they sent us the money. It was just, I don't know, it was like 35 pesos or 53 pesos, something like that. And we added it to the other 149 gifts plus their gift, and we raised the amount and paid the bill. And so not long after that, we began to add about 6,000 or 300,000 came in for CR shower development, and then another 350,000 came in during our fundraising towards the new lecture room. And so we built a lecture room. So those are all add-ons after we acquired the building in 2015. And so that's it. 10th year anniversary here at YWAM Tacloban, here in the Philippines, halfway down the Philippines, right in the middle, in Leyte, right underneath Samar. My name is Brother Mitch. God bless you. Thank you for watching.